Hi, my name is Brandy Sieber. You're watching Just Waking Up. Welcome aboard. Today, I have the pleasure of interviewing Greg Yawakia. He is a Zuni spiritual teacher. And the reason why I reached out to Greg is that it is so important for us right now to maintain spiritual and energetic health. Greg, as I mentioned, is a spiritual teacher, and together with his wife, they offer you tools and the ability to sense into your energy field and calibrate and balance yourself. Today, Greg and I get to talk about his experience, and he has a presentation that he's going to share with us, looking into ancient past, bringing it into the future, and what it looks like in order to move forward into this beautiful galactic future that we're embarking on. I hope you enjoy. I send you all of my love. Greg, thank you so much for taking time out of your life just to hang out and talk.
Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you for inviting me. It's been long awaited coming, but we're here now. So, you know, um, I guess I can introduce myself. My actual name is Imsa Yawakia, but due to being a tongue twister, I go by Greg, Imsa Greg Yawakia. And anyway, I'm from the Pueblo Zuni, and we are located around the Four Corners area. We have our reservation goes in New Mexico and Arizona, so we are near the Four Corners. Four Corners is about maybe 75 miles from north of Zuni, and the state line. You go into Zuni, the town of Zuni. You go about 8 miles west, and you're in Arizona. And again, our reservation goes into Arizona, all the way to almost St. John's. But that's where I'm from. And let's see. I guess I'll tell a little bit about my story that I always tell everybody. Um, at the age of 3, we were pinyon pickers. My mom and dad took me out pinyon picking, and I guess I fell asleep in the back of the car. Well, when fell asleep in the back of the car, we stopped. They went pinyon picking on the left side of the car, not too far from the where the car was parked at. And when I woke up, I didn't see them, so I got out on the right side of the car, and they didn't hear me, so I jumped out and I went looking for them. Well, I was looking for them for 2 weeks out in the woods, and I didn't find them, nor they didn't find me. Actually, I got lost in the woods, and for 2 weeks I was gone. They had search and rescue and everybody looking for me. Nobody could find me. And about 2 weeks later, a sheep herder out there in the middle of nowhere heard me and followed the noise to where I was. When he found me, he realized who I was because I guess the search and rescue had communicated with him, told him that there was a missing child. So when he found me 2 weeks later, I was not hungry. I was not dirty. I was well taken care of. I was clean. And so he picked me up and says, "Look, listen, I got to take you home. They're looking for you." And of course, at that age, I didn't know what was going on, but he brought me home and told my family that I was going to be his godson, that he's going to teach me his knowledge and all this kind of stuff. So after that, you know, from 2 to 7 years old, you know, I was awakened, I guess, at that time to where, you know, I was being challenged to where I conquered death, 3 times. And after the third time, they told my godfather what had happened, what's been going on. So he belonged to a medicine group. And he said, "We got to start training him now because they're trying to get him. We got to start training him." And so my training started at the age of 7 when I was in Zuni by my elders and in that medicine group. And it really wasn't like a teaching. They were just sharing me the knowledge of what to do and how to do things and how to take care of myself, cleansing and protection. Because my modalities came naturally. So as I went through the training and everything, and I started participating in their activities, and at a young age, at 9 years old, I was up and at it and everything, doing everything like a full blown medicine man would do, or shaman, whatever you call them, that would do. I just call myself a vessel to a healer. But anyway, I started doing everything, and they realized, hey, he's got some good gifts. So as time went on, and age of 14, I decided to leave the reservation. And at that time, one of the elders pulled me over and said, "You ever realize what happened to you at the age of 3 when you were missing that 2 weeks?" I said, "No. What happened? What happened?" He says, "You don't have any flashbacks?" I said, "No." And he just kind of said, "Now you can share it or you can keep it to yourself, but you were abducted." I said, "Wait a minute." And they said, "Yes, you need to learn more into." We do have a Galaxy Fraternity Lodge in Zuni. They said you need to start learning from them about the higher ups, the space beings, ETs, whatever. And I said, okay. And then they said, start listening to the stargazer. Watch what he does. And in Zuni, we have a stargazer. We used to have a stargazer that every night he'd look at the stars and the planets and whatever. And with the alignment, he would tell us what time of the season it is to do certain things. Like he'll announce it saying, okay, this is our last frost. After this, you can start planting. Everybody in the village would go out and start planting their fields. Because at that time, when I was growing up, Zuni was self sufficient. And then later on, during the fall, he'll announce, okay, you got 2 weeks to harvest because in 2 weeks, we are going to have our first frost. So anyway, I started learning from them about a little bit about, you know, the space beings and all what they do and everything. And on our Galaxy Fraternity Lodge, if you look at their shrine, you know, there are two space beings up there on their shrine. And then our hieroglyphs back home, we do have copies. I mean, we do have uh, space beings etched on, and scientists, I mean, the geologists say that was done thousands of years ago. That was etched on thousands of years ago. And it was just a documentation of us having contact with the space beings. And so, um, you know, make story short, that's what I did. That's how I was raised, and that's how I was awoken. And after I graduated from high school, I joined the military. And then when I was in the military, I had the opportunity to travel the world. So when I don't know why, but manifestation to me was big back that time. And so we went to for some reason we got pulled into Egypt. We went to Egypt and we said, y'all gonna be here for the next 4 to 6 months. So get yourself comfortable. And so we stayed there, and every day, every weekend, I was in the pyramids. And I guess just being up there all the time, I got invited to go into the Great Giza Temple of Giza. And when I went in there, the two men that was taking the fees and all that, they never charged me. And then one day they just said, "Listen, we want to take you to a special chamber. We don't know why, but we just have to take you to this special chamber." So we went into the pyramid, down, 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 down. Then we went up, 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 and then we went to this room. It was probably 10 by 10 small room. And when I went in there, I looked around and I saw all these paintings, pictographs, everything. And then I started looking at some of these symbols, the alchemy symbology. And I said, wait a minute, these symbols are on our hieroglyphs back home. So I started studying alchemy symbols. and it just came to me. Everything just came to me naturally, and knowing my oral history, I started piecing everything together, and everything. Wow, I was just so amazed to where I finally realized that you know alchemy symbology is very powerful, and so I started practicing. I mean, my healing practice that I learned from back home, I enhanced it even more when I was in Egypt because meditation, grounding, everything that I was taught, I was doing that there, and everything started coming to me. I mean, the folklores, the oral history that was passed down to me, everything came, and like our one of them was Matlokatsuki in Zuni. We interpret it, it's like Salt Lady, but the things that she did with the Zuni people just perfectly describes ISIS. And then I started connecting all this information together, and you know everything just like came into the picture to where I said, "Wow, wow!" I mean, you know, and again, so I'm now here to just basically uh, share the knowledge of what was taught to me because as a healer, I I I I, I, I was all over. I even went to Tibet, learned about energy healing. I went to India. I did some firewall. I went to Japan. I got my Gohansan, what they call it. Studied with the Buddhists. Got my Gohansan at a World Peace Conference out there. And so I studied all these different modalities of different cultures of how they do healing practices. Even went to Africa, South America, Central America to learn all this. And it just so happened that, again, being in the military, I would just say, I want to go to Central America. Boom. I mean, Nicaragua, Honduras, Panama. I want to go to South America. Boom. I'm in Venezuela and all these other places, and I said, wow, the power of manifestation was strong. I guess because for me to learn all these different uh, cultures and modalities that they do, and
Yes.
so I'm not ethnocentric. When I do my sharing of knowledge, I'm not ethnocentric about my way. I share everything, and what I'm going to share with y'all today, is going to be about ascension, raising your vibration you know. And so let me get to my screen and start sharing it and see if it comes out. Okay, now
Mhm.
there it is. It'll come up. Oh, all right,
Yeah, thank you.
let me see. Okay, there. Introduction to energy levels. This is what I teach here at One Nation Tribal Alliance and Healthier and Harmonious Lifestyle. So anyway, medicine wheel. Medicine wheel has a lot of alchemy symbols. Um, Native medicine wheel is to raise vibrations, and it starts with earthly direction, starting with south, which is this red. Red is south and red is Mother Earth, and rotating clockwise to west, then to north, fire energy, and finishes at east with vibration, and heart. And then it moves to the esoteric realm of our, you know, chakras, which is the first circle, inner circle, is the divine feminine. And then this plus sign right here, the balanced cross, is a divine masculine. Then the outer cross, the outer circle out here is the cosmic womb. And I'll go in there in that much more in detail in a little bit. But anyway, water is dissension. What is dissension? Dissension from the universe is what I was taught. We are descended from the universe, coming to Mother Earth. Now, once we get here, we have to learn to raise our vibration. Fire is energy. So when we raise our vibration, we ascend. Fire rises, heat rises, water comes down from above. So anyway, and if you put fire and water on top of each other, it becomes Merkaba, which is right here, Merkaba, whatever you call it. These first three chakras are the earthly chakras, meaning that, your root, your sacral and your solar plex. And then you go into your heart chakra. Then you go into your throat, your pineal gland, then your crown. Well, you know, in a native way, we go same way. Like I said, this is our first chakra, root, grounding. This is our sacral, second one, which is spirit, water. Water is spirit. Then it goes into the third chakra, which is energy. Energy is in your solar plex. And that's where transformation is starting. Because once you work on yourself and, understand your spirit and then your mind, because again, we go back to the Holy Trinity, mind, body, and soul. We are three things that became one thing. The three things that we became one thing was father, mother, body. In alchemy, it'll be sulfur, mercury, and salt. Salt is body. Sulfur is ether, which is, father. Mother, Mercury, is, the divine feminine. So, we come from a binary universe. So then it goes into your heart chakra, which is, where vibration, transformation, air is at. So this is what the natives say. And then again, there's water, the upside down triangle, and here is fire. So, the medicine wheel, it tells us a lot. Plus, the four colors that is in here, according to our history, red, black, white, and yellow, those were the four skin colors of the world, you know. And when we had the four skin colors of the world, we were all in one area. Then, because I guess as time went along, we started bickering or not getting along. You know, the big continent that we were on started breaking up and started separating. And scientists now call that the continental drift. So, you know, you know, back then, you know, we didn't have race. If you were red, you're red. If you're black, you're black. If you're white, you're white. If you're yellow, you're yellow. But nowadays, we got so many, like on red, native, Zuni, Navajo, Hopi, and all this. We got different races all over, but it used to never be that way. We were all one color. So I know I need to, it's a big class, but anyway, um,
I like it.
so as I teach about raising your vibration, I use four different things. Like I said, I'm just not going to concentrate on the medicine wheel because I use the seven prayer conscious level, the medicine wheel, the chakras, and the seven conscious level. Like for instance, the first one, south, is Mother Earth, which is root or red. And on the seven conscious prayer level, which is south, which means who am I? I am. And then you go into the chakras, which is root, grounding, connection. And then in the subconscious level is survival. And I break it down to, like, for instance, who am I? You have to find out who you really are. Who am I? To start grounding, to start meditation, to start connecting with the Creator, Father, and Mother. Because remember, your Trinity, Father, Mother, and you. That's the Trinity. And you become one thing, which is mind, body, and soul. So, you know, then again, you go into the medicine wheel. You start connecting to Mother Earth, you know, and grounding, chakras, root connection, you know, and the seven conscious level is survival. And why is it survival? Because we all have gone through a lot in life to where when we wake up the next morning, there's a reason why we wake up. And when we wake up, we really started awakening, not just physical, but spiritual awakening. You said, man, I cannot believe I'll beat to death or I would beat up and all this kind of stuff. And I'm still surviving. I'm awake. And it wakes you up, to what you have gone through, so that, I go into all this, going more into detail, and I give a little exercise. And so the second part is west on the on a medicine wall is west, which is water, spirit. On the paraconscious level, is I feel. I feel what? I feel the spirit, both physically and spiritually. Well, how do you do that? I give you a little exercise that you can work with, you know. And then in sacral, which is in the chakras, is sacral, which is your spirit, and then you go into seven conscious level, which is relationships. Why relationships? Because you need to resolve any negative relationships you have. Because if you're going to be a healer and you have your energy real fired up, you're ready to do some healing and all that. But if you have a hidden emotion, like you say, wow, I remember him. He owed me $20 20 years ago. That's a hidden emotion to where it will drop your vibration to where you have to start all over again, raising your vibration because of that hidden emotion that you had. That's why, you work on your relationship to let everything go. Well, if he owed me 5 years ago, I've survived without it. I don't need it. So, those kinds of thoughts you have to, everything, there should be no, you know, hidden emotion. So you need to work on your relationships if you're going to be a healer. The third one is I do, which is spiritual and physical. I do, you know, you have to do, put some action. That's the action part, which is north, which is fire, energy, which, when you start putting action into I do and fire energy, which is mind over matter. You start practicing mind over matter where you can do a lot of things. And this is where transformation starts too. Because once you work on yourself, once you work on your spiritual side, and now your body, guess what? Things are going to start happening where you're going to say, wow, why did it happen that way? You're going to start asking yourself, and you want to look in deeper because, again, it goes into your solar plex, which is mind over matter. Then it goes into your self esteem, letting go, letting go to raise your self esteem up. And you can, you know, because when you are awakened, you're gonna be a loner. All your friends are gonna think you're a weird person, to where they're gonna leave you alone. But that's okay. Stay connected. Continue your mission work is what I tell them. But again, going into more detail about it, I do. Then on the fourth one is I love. I love is yourself and others. What does love look like? And we work on that. East, which is going to be air, and that's where transformation is, vibration in your chakras, your heart chakra, start vibration and separation, separation from the 3D realm, because you're going into a higher dimension. Then it goes into, again, transformation, changes within you, changing within. You be a different person once you get into a higher vibration, because you're going to start looking at, everything in a different way to where, you will learn how to say no to the negative things. Your rebel years is basically going to come to a halt because you be more into the spiritual realm and get out of the 3D world to where, I mean, you can still be in it, but you will learn not to participate in a lot of things that is going on. Now, then it goes into the fifth one, which is I speak on the prayer conscious level. I speak. You got to speak with control because two things that they told me, the elders tell me, your voice, when you talk, you're either talking white language or black magic. So you got to watch how you talk, because your voice can hurt people or can heal people. And so, again, it is East, which is herb transformation. I'm sorry, it's the upper divine feminine, which is the balance strength. Your feminine side and your masculine side will have to have a balanced strength. You know, and so then again, throat chakra, which is kindness. You know, then it goes into internal cohesion, past, present, and future. How do you deal with that? Live for today. Don't worry about the past. I mean, you can remember it, but don't worry about the past because it's already happened. You can't change it. Don't worry about the future because we're not guaranteed the future. All we gotta do is live for the day. So then it goes into the sixth one. I see. I see seeing of and of looking. There's a difference between seeing and looking. You know, and your power of observation needs to get stronger because when you go into, your your balanced cross, your divine masculine, you know, there it goes into your pineal gland. Your pineal gland is for your visions and your dreams. You know, the lucid, when they get lucid dreams, is it a vision or is it a dream? And a lot of people says, well, I have real strange dreams here lately. I said, do you participate? They look at me like, what do you mean participate? Do you ask questions when you're in your dream? Why no? Why not? Why not? Ask questions, learn from your dream. So some of the things that I share more about in detail is, how do you control your dreams? How do you know when you're being attacked? What to do? By the dark. Because just because you're awakened and doing all this, believe me, the dark is fighting you hard not to go into this because as you're raising your vibration, they don't want you to do that. They want to be able to control you. So, and then you go into this seven conscious is making a difference to yourself and others. Then I know crown chakra. I know, which is the outer circle, which is the cosmic moon. That is your universal connection in the medicine world. Then it goes again, crown chakra, which is pure consciousness and service to others, service to all, you know. And so this is the Merkaba. Like I said, this first three earthly chakras are to raise your fire, to raise your vibration, to when you get into the heart, it transforms you. And this is earthly transformation. Then you go into your esoteric. Your esoteric chakras are basically like you can start doing not really magic, but things that you know we can do, but we are taught not to be able to do that. But the government has a project Looking Glass that talked about remote viewing. You can remote view. You can, there's other people that shapeshift. I know back home on reservation, shapeshift is pretty bad out there. And then And your esoteric chakras are preparing you to boom when you get out of that number seven. Guess what? You're in the astral. So you're in the astral. You know, you can go other universe. A lot of people like to say, "I go astral traveling." I go, you know, I I don't care much to share that, even though it's possible to share that much because you have to really know what you are doing to get to that level of astral traveling. Because when you astral travel, you are leaving your body behind. You know, how are you getting that protected? Who's protecting that body for you while you're out there astral traveling? You know, you separate your spirit separates from the body. So, that's astral traveling. So anyway, this is what this is what we go by on the training that I do. But why is it relevant? Because all these things we volunteer to come to Mother Earth to help Mother Earth vibrate. When you ground, I tell people when you ground like a tree. Put your feet on the ground. Raise your hands up like the tree under limbs, bringing that universal energy down through you to Mother Earth. And I tell them, they say, well, I said, I tell you what, here's the thing you can do. When you get out there, put your feet on the ground or dirt, whatever, raise your hands up and take, 3 deep breaths and feel that universal energy come through your arms. Feel it come through your arms. And because you're nurturing Mother Earth, Mother Earth in return nurtures us, you know, as within, as without, like the trees. They eat the carbon dioxide and break out, the oxygen. We breathe in the oxygen, breathe out carbon dioxide, as within, as without. There's a lot of things like that we have to realize what we are here for. And once our mission is complete, and we transition, because we are, this avatar, again, mind, body, and soul. That soul is an infinite being. There's no telling how old our soul is. But then again, there is no time in the universe. So this soul may be 2 days old and in the universe, but it might be 300 years old in the world or in Earth plane, because Earth has a time. We've got 365 days, 7 days a week, 24 hours in a day, 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour. That's, we never used to be that way. I mean, it's never correct because
Yeah.
why do we have leap year, and all this. But anyway, it's relevant that we need to start raising our vibration because, again, right now, you know, I'm not saying you need to connect with the 3D world right now, but if you just listen to what's going on, stay above that. Don't worry about them. Don't worry about what they're talking about in the news media. They're trying to lower your vibration. Watching the news, some of these things that you hear or read, I mean, they're trying to lower your, stay above that. Stay above that. And they're trying to mess with us using the frequencies. Well, you know, nanotechnology, all this kind of stuff. People say, "Well, I'm scared." I mean, the nanotechnology and all this. I said, I'm even concerned about CERN and all this. And I said, understand one thing, and that is who created all these frequencies and all this CERN and all these things that are trying to get you down. Who created it? A human mind. That's how powerful we are. You got to raise your vibration to understand that you are more powerful than that cell phone tower trying to throw out a signal at you. Throw it
Yes.
back at it. Ricochet,
Yeah.
throw it back at it. You know,
Yes.
you know, and In a native perspective, we raise our vibration because we're here from Mother Earth. We raise our vibration many ways. People don't realize it, but dancing. When you hear that drum beat, doom, 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 the miracle tone, 432 hertz, the miracle tone. That drum beat is going to have that 432 hertz. Their song. I never could understand powwow music until I started listening to it as a frequency. All that high pitched sounds that they're singing they're probably singing 500 hertz or 600 hertz. And that's why people get uplifted when they go to powwow and they get dance so fast and they get into it. I mean, when you come out of that powwow, you say, wow, that was great. Yeah, because it raised your frequency, raised your vibration and all that. So, these are some of the things that, is going on. So, you know, I I enjoy my teaching. I mean, I took the healing route. So in my medicine lodge, I took the healing route to where, you know, I've done it, everything, you know, psychic surgery, everything. And now I'm at the point where, I'm not quitting. You can't quit. Uh, they say it's a lifetime commitment. Our tribe, you say, once you become one, it's a lifetime commitment. So now I'm at the point where I'm sharing a lot of the knowledge that was passed down to me, knowledge that I learned from other different, cultures that around the world that I was connected with, and I had the great opportunity to be doing a lot of this. So I really I really enjoy my sharing of knowledge, and you know we at Healthy and Harmonious Lifestyle, this raising your vibration through chakras and medicine wheel is in our class on our website. And we have a special, you know, buy one class, get the other one for $1. It's so, and it's posted on there. Just follow the instructions if you want to take the class, and we'll sign you up. And the class has over 140 modules, so it's not time limited. If it takes you 6 months to learn it, fine. I mean, the class is yours. Once you purchase it, class is yours. We don't put an end. Okay, time's up, and we don't turn it off. No, it's been turned on since we started these classes. And once in a while, we'll send out an email. My partner Kim and I will send out an email to say, hey, we're getting together. If y'all have any questions, you know, here's the link. Get on, and they'll get on and ask any questions. And so we have that, and and you take the class, join the mentorship, you know, for $1.99. Join the
May
mentorship.
may I ask some questions, Greg?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh my God. Thank you so much. It is such a gift to have you here sharing, and the way that you've integrated the modalities is fascinating. And I love how you related and saw the similarities between the deity Isis and can you name the Zuni goddess that you was similar to Isis?
Ma'lokatsiki.
Mm. I ask because one of my questions is, do you think that there was like one being, or do you think that these were many beings that were following in the same lineage of some particular uh, culture or star race? Or, for instance, you've got, and I've heard you speak about this before, Thoth and Quetzalcoatl. There's these deities that are found around the same time, but in different areas of the world with similar teachings. Do you think that this was one being that each culture had a different name and title for? What are your thoughts on that?
um, I well, we say when we say our prayers, we say our Father, Creator, our Father, create her, Creator. you know, a lot of people, you know, when they do their ceremonies, and they like to call upon, I'm gonna call upon the Father, call upon they're here. Connect with them. So that I don't call upon the Father, Creator. I don't call upon Mother because I'm connected with them constantly. And that's how we should be. Constant connection with our Creator. And that's what we do. Now, as far as thought and all that, one of the questions that people always ask me is, was thought ever in America? I say yes. I say yes because one, if you look at the Emerald Tablets, Thoth had one of the, I guess, a chapter of the Emerald Tablets in the Sun Temple that was in the Yucatan Peninsula. And where was Egypt? Cam, South America, right?
Mhm.
Also, according to what is documented, Powell, um, early explorer back in the 1800s, found a cave in Grand Canyon. Went in that cave, of course, they didn't have flashlights or anything like that. He was lowered down in that cave by a rope. He got down to the first level. He said he saw an Egyptian village that could probably house 5,000 people. Our migration said that we come from the four underworlds. A lot of the migrations come from the underworld. So again, the Egyptian village was on the first floor to where, you know, Powell saw that. He got it written. Now, of course, you know, Smithsonian tried to debunk him, but in 1902, 1903, Kincaid went in that same cave and saw that Egyptian village, picked up some relics, and the Arizona Republic wrote an article about it. It's in Wikipedia, I believe. You can look it up. And again, they tried to debunk him. And since then, that cave is off limits. It's
Mm.
sealed. Government watches over it. I mean, people have, nowadays, people try to get to that cave, but when they get closer, somebody come up and say, "You're not welcome there. Go on." Or if they get close, an unmarked plane or helicopters fly over and deter them not to get near that cave.
Hmm.
You know,
Do Zuni have ant people in their history?
yes, we do. We were in the fourth underworld. We were protected by the ant people and the mantis. And so now, to this date, one of our healing society are the ants.
You know what? It's making me cry.
So,
Um, and sorry, I was just having a moment. Um, I have lots to share with that, but maybe I'll talk on another time. Um,
okay.
do you, may I'm going to kind of shift gears here, um, because I want to be respectful of our time and attention. Um, I, I have a question regarding ascension. I know that many people are attached to the ideas of what's happening out there, and their hearts are empathetic towards, let's just say, a war-torn country or some social or cultural thing that they think is right or wrong. And or even traumatic situations, people who, or children who have been through things. There's all of these different things that can cause us to feel empathetic. And so we're feeling outraged or sad or angry that the incident or situation is happening, whether to ourselves or the, these other places. What would you say to someone who is so attached to those ideologies and thinking that it's because I feel like this, like I'm angered or triggered, and this is something I've actually been dealing with. in the last week, my own personal trigger is when things happen to innocent people. And how is it that we can detach ourselves and raise our frequency when there's these things happening where we feel obligated to have this empathetic reaction, but that empathetic reaction is usually anger or angst or outrage. And so by saying to someone that they should be raising their vibration or staying sound, staying centered, which I believe and I know and I practice myself, but it's hard to advise other people or to tell other people they should be feeling a certain way or centered. It's almost like a an attachment. And I think that we're so attached to our ego and that our hearts, our compassionate hearts are being played with in order to bring us in those states of negative frequencies. It's my belief that when we're centered, we see it differently. And when we're centered, we're sending a ripple out to help move us through the change, to help ascend us. That's my personal belief. And I'm wondering what you think about that topic. All these like triggery topics. People are really pissed off out there.
Okay. Um, it's not about back there again. It's not about what's out there.
Mm,
You got to think about what's in here first.
yes, yes, yes.
You remember, seven conscious level. I am connecting to Mother Earth, connecting to the Creator, grounding. You know, survival, because you became a survival. So when you find out who you really are, how you're connected to the Father, how you're connected, you know, to the creation, because again, you know, what caused it? I mean, to me, it's like they're saying, they're going cut this, cut that, all that. I was raised to where I saw self-sufficiency, survival. How you going to survive with, I'm in a place to where I see a lot of Amish. They don't have electricity in their house. They don't have cars. They don't drive cars. I mean, it'd be raining like crazy, but you see them Amish ladies riding their bike down the street, going where they ever have to be. They're riding their bikes. They don't have the luxury of having a car. You ask them, who's the president of the United States? I don't know. They don't care.
Mhm.
So, if you just, you know, Zuni is so isolated. The reservation is to where, it takes a while for things to catch up there. But, that's one of the good part because, it doesn't, you know, as my elders used to say, don't get yourself involved in it until you are ready and you are directed. You have to follow your spirit, you know, raise your vibration, then follow your spirit, you know, because, you know, we're here to save Mother Earth,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
you know, again, yes, we were about that child. Yes, we were about that family and all this. We feel sorry for them, but you know, um, they're just as capable as you are. So if we teach how to raise your vibration, teach how to connect to father and mother, not religious, but spiritually, you know, they will start raising their vibration. They start doing things on their own. These people that are going through all this, you know, maybe they'll become a survival and wake up. It's been too long that things have been happening. I mean, if you look at history repeats itself. What we're going through, I'm sure, back in the 18 or 1900s. Look at the Great Depression. You know, people suffered, and are we going through that again? I don't know, but let's prepare ourselves. Survival. You know, Because one of the things that was sad for me was that you know, when I hear that down in Texas, when they had an ice storm, they don't have electricity and running water for 1 week. 50 people die. I'm saying, whoa, you go to the reservation out in the middle of nowhere, grandma and grandpa don't have running water or electricity. They've been living like that for all their lives. So I mean, why can't they survive like that? So these are the kind of knowledge we need to share about raising your vibration. So, you know, so maybe it'll motivate them to where, okay, let's do this. Let's do that. Self sufficiency. It's like, how many know how to can? Can you can vegetables?
Me?
Yeah,
Yes, I can a little bit. I can a little. Yes.
yeah.
I just need to know exactly, and I've done so. I've done a little bit of preserving. I actually used to live out on some acreage. I slept outside for almost 3 years. Like, I like being outside. I like chopping wood. I like growing. I enjoy that lifestyle very,
What
very
about
much.
if you harvest some meat,
I don't
you
know
know how
how
to
to do the
process it?
meat. No,
Yeah,
my kids do though. My youngest daughter does. She actually raises rabbits. My daughter knows how to process meat. I do not.
to where you don't need a refrigerator to put the meat in.
I don't know if she does that. I think she does do the refrigerator. No, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how
Yeah,
to
yeah,
dry that. Mm-hmm.
yeah. Or dry goods,
Mm-hmm.
beans and all that, potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
How do you make potatoes last a while? You know, these are the things that being raised from a self sufficiency, tribe, you know, my grandma, it's a natural thing. Nobody starved. We didn't need money because we bartered. Hey, I'll give you 5 pounds of beans for a leg of that lamb that you raised. Okay, no problem. If I give you corn for some of this, we bartered. We never money was not of anything to the people. You know,
Just thinking of that it just automatically makes my body fall into a relaxed state. It automatically makes me feel comfortable and not anxious. Just the idea that we could be moving in, or I would love to see humanity move back to simple
and
living.
yeah, and it's just like food nowadays. That's why we have the healthy and harmonious lifestyle because that's part. My partner teaches about healthy eating. She's teaching me. I'm learning, but because you know what they put in the food nowadays. Preservatives and all that. So she's teaching me how to eat organic, which is good for me, because my
Mhm.
my lab work shows it perfect. And the doctors are saying, wow, your lab work are good. All this. And I said, okay, well, it's happening, but you know, she's teaching me how to eat organic and teaching me how to use even the utensils that you use. That Teflon coating. If it gets a rip in it, all that chemical that's making that Teflon is going into your food while you're cooking. You know,
Mhm. Mhm.
plastic. We try not to use plastic. We avoid plastic. You know, use stainless steel, wooden spoon, cast iron. You know, we try to stay off of Teflon, stuff like that. I mean, these are things that we try to share with you. I mean, she's more knowledgeable on that than I am, and I had to learn. I had to learn, and believe me, it was hard on me because I was used to, man, I love my ribeye steaks and I love my this. I mean,
I do
but
too.
we just have to. But you got to understand, organic food is the best route. For me, I've learned that it is. because I can see it, a big change in my health, you know.
I think so too. I think it like if our carbon body is uh is resonating properly, is healthy and strong, it just enables us, our heart and our spirits and our it affects our nervous system. Sometimes that's what's making us mad, or that's what's making us feel anxious, are the poisons and the things that we are not getting on a nutritional, our nutritional baseline is out of whack. And so, um, may I ask one more question or
Yes,
another
yes,
question?
yes,
Uh,
yes.
regarding galactics, are you in contact, or aside from when you were a child, have you had any communication, contact, or telepathic um,
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
conversations?
yeah, I see spaceships. I see ships flying around. And again, I was taught all these things. And one day, um, we went down to Zuni and coming back to Zuni. I said, let's go a different route because we don't like interstates. We go the back roads and going places. We go take the back roads. And so we went down back roads and I said, hey, there's a VLA right here, very large arrays where they film, Jodie Foster's Contact, the big satellites and all that. And she said, yeah. So we got to where the satellites are. She goes, I'd like to do some light language. And I said, sure, let me pull over. So when I pulled over, all these big satellites were pointing towards us. And then when she got out to do her light language, all them satellites just went, did a 180 and pointed outside away from us.
Wow.
And she did her light language. And when she got done, they all came back to the same position.
Can you
And
define light language for people who may not know what that is?
light language is a universal communication to higher beings, you know, to higher people. And you got again raising your vibration. You can understand, and there's been people that it's a special way of communicating with the higher beings, of either getting instructions or directions, whatever. But if they want to communicate with you, they communicate. It's just like as they say, if you're in a very high spiritual and Father sends his angel to tell you this, you know, okay, I mean, you're gonna take that message and you're gonna take it with heart because that's a special way of and all this. So, and part of the thing about raising your vibration in an esoteric level, you can do all that. You can communicate with them. You can remote view. I remote view because when we left that place, we were driving away, and I said, "I'm gonna go remote view that building and see what's going on." When I went there, there's two guys in there going crazy because who pushed that button to move those satellite dishes? Because there's a protocol they're supposed to do before they do it, but that
Wow.
button was still sealed in there. So
Wow.
to me, that tell me that it's just higher people that wanted
Hmm.
that they wanted to communicate with her. They didn't want the interference, so they moved them out of the way. And then coming out of there, again, I've been taught about the space beings and all that. I just drive. We're driving. I kept looking to my right. I saw this ship, or like looked like a plane to me, but it was a ship. No chemtrail, nothing. Just go fast, slow down. Just keeping up with us. Finally, I looked at her and I said, "Is that a spaceship?" Yeah. Of course, me get my camera. I'm gonna take a picture, but poof, it's gone. It's gone already. And then ever since then, I come around here. I I see a lot of them flying across at night, and we have a outside camera at nighttime. I mean, some of the things that we catch is unbelievable. We catch
That's so
orbs.
cool.
We own spaceships that come around. They and if you keep your vibration high enough and they trust you, they'll come around to show you that they are in existence. And why not? Because they are. I mean, Zunis say they are, and Hopi If you look at the Hopi villages, it's laid out like the Orion. You know,
Oh, really? I'm going to look at that.
yeah,
I'm from Orion. I believe that my soul was in Orion for a time. That's interesting. I didn't know that. I'm going to look at that.
yeah, yeah.
Wow, that's fascinating.
Even
Oh,
our where our Malokatsuki is right now,
hmm.
where it is right now, Salt Lake. Zuni has their own Salt Lake, not Utah, but in the Zuni reservation there is a Salt Lake out there. And if you look at the aerial photo of it, my elders told me that the spaceship came and crashed in there. When it crashed into the earth, it went through the salt bed, and there's a freshwater aquifer went through the salt bed, and it's bringing that salt up. And if you look at that again, the aerial footage, it looks like a meteor crater, but it's actually a space crater because it's not that big. It's a little smaller than the one in Arizona, the meteor crater in Arizona. It's a little smaller than that. And beside it is a volcano that has fresh water. And right beside it is a salt lake. And I said, I mean, it's got a lot of, you know, Zuni has a lot of oral history that, you know, people say, that's kind of, but, you know, that's how we keep our tradition alive
Yeah.
because of things that are being passed down to us. Nothing is written, you know. AI is written, but it's not all there, I mean, because, we still do practice our migration story every year, you know. I mean, you go to Zuni, if you go like during the winter solstice, Zuni the whole village will be fasting for 10 days. Men do it for 10, women do it for 4. I mean, raise your vibration after the 10th, after the 8th, ninth, 10th day. How high your vibration is going to be. Because once you pass, because it's proven that a body can go without food for 42 days, but can't go without water but for 4 days, you know?
Are you going to ever plan another? I know that last year you were putting together, uh, I don't want to say a tour, but you were going places, going to different sites and doing like stargazing or studying the stars from different sites. I think it was in this July or June.
Yeah, yeah. Well, again, it's good to plan, but sometimes things happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I'm trying to keep up with, well, I'm not trying, but I am keeping up with the mentorship. I still got like maybe 5 slots opening. So anybody that wants to come on, it's one on one, like you and I, for an hour. I meet with you once every 2 weeks, one on one, and whether you want to raise your vibration or if you're a healer. A lot of healers, are out there. They come to me and says, "Why am I sick? Why am I this? Why am I that?" And I said, "Are you cleansing? Are you protecting yourself? Because anytime you're dealing with healing a sick person, you're dealing with the dark. The dark is transferring, you know. And so if you don't cleanse yourself, you know, if the residue's on you and you eat, guess what? It's going in you. So it's either on you or in you. So you gotta every time we go out in public, so much negativity out there. First thing we do when we come back home, we wash our hands. Get all that negativity off of us. Negative energy because it's everywhere. People, some people you encounter, they're just unhappy. But you know, keep your vibration up because you know when you raise your vibration, you know the dark is going to either run from you or lash out at you if you corner. But that's okay. If they do that, you're not talking to the person. You're dealing with the dark. You got to learn how to deal with him. You know,
And
and
so we people would find your mentorship directly through your website. That's how they would contact you. You have
yes,
5 more slots open on your website for the
yeah,
mentorship program. I'm going to make sure to share this with my galactic. I don't know if you know, I don't think I mentioned, but I study galactic astrology. And so I look at the fixed stars in your natal chart, like Sirius, Pleiades, Alpha Centauri. There's over 60 fixed stars that are in our system. And depending on what planet they're aligned with, it begins to show a map of where your soul has possibly been before incarnating onto Earth. And there's a huge community of galactic astrologers. With your permission, I can share this
yeah.
on my teacher's site for galactic astrology. And I'm sure many people will be interested because it's so important. I know often when we do healings, and I don't do healings, I should be doing healings more, and I have the ability. But I'm a sponge and it's so easy, and I forget the protocols of spiritual hygiene, of the things that you mentioned, this washing your hands when you go out. I leave salt bowls in my home. There's just different things that we can be doing in order to maintain our fields and keeping ourselves clean and healthy and
Well,
centered.
again, carry the protection around too. I carry a multivite everywhere. For my
Moldavite.
protection. Yeah, I carry that around for my protection, and
Mhm.
I got you know, yes, I got all kinds of stuff. Got some crystals. You know, okay.
Oh, yeah, your amethyst.
This is a neat one.
Oh, I love that. What is that?
I don't know the
It's
name of
like a
it, but
dark highlight.
but it's a healing thing. And I again, it's all we all have this gift. I'm gonna give you a little thing to close this with, and you're gonna freak out. Put your hands like
Mhm,
this next to each other. Open your
mhm.
hands, fingers real wide. Yeah, put them together like that. Put them together, like this. Yeah. Now, tighten up your gut.
Now what?
Tighten up your gut. You feel the energy come through your hands?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. See? That's your healing powers.
Oh, coming from your solar plexus.
Yes.
Oh, I've never done that before.
Well, like I said, when you go out ground, raise your hand up and do
Mhm.
the same thing. Watch that universal energy come to Mother Earth to you.
Yeah, becoming the conduit.
Hmm.
Becoming. Oh, I have a Merkaba tattooed on my hand there,
Yeah.
or my arm. Wow. Greg, thank you so much for taking time. Sorry about the technical difficulties at the end. You are just an amazing human. I would love to have you back and ask you more questions.
Yeah, we can have a
Um,
Q&A.
I have
Um,
a big list of questions here.
well,
I just appreciate who you are. I appreciate you being out there and sharing your gifts and insights, and I respect what you're doing so much. And it's so important for us to communicate, collaborate, and I look forward to speaking with you again.
okay. Well, it's always been, I'm here. And again, you know, um, all I can say is that, the classes are still available. They can find a class about raising your vibration on our website, and it tells you how to sign up and the cost and everything. And our classes are not really that much. I mean, you buy the Native Alchemy, you buy the uh, how to raise your vibration through chakras for $1. Then you get the mentorship for $1.11.
And will you repeat your website aloud? I'm going to put a banner when I go
Okay.
to edit, but just
Healthy and
to
harmonious lifestyle.com. That's
.com.
healthy and harmonious lifestyle.com. Yeah. So,
Okay. I will make sure to have that on the bottom, and I will have this set to premiere this evening, and I will share it with my galactic astrology community as well.
okay. All
And
right. Um, I'm gonna mash the button, and if you got any more things, we can talk later. Okay.
that
So
sounds amazing.
hold on. All right. Let me
Thank you, Greg.